What a trade, man! Who are you, a freaking owl? The New York Rangers, as we have just talked about earlier in today's show, made themselves a trade, and it comes at the best time possible. You see, I made the Sean Avery video, maybe like an hour or something ago. Let's go out there and check. How long ago was that video? There you go, it's right here. And in this video, after I made it, I was like, you know what? There isn't really any other topic that I want to dive into in today's show. Because, look, we can talk about Kaapo Kakko and the Minnesota Wild, but I don't want to double dip, you know, 2 Rangers videos in a row. That sounds kind of bad in my opinion. So I decided to go out. I decided to get myself some breakfast. I had some really nice sushi. Yeah, don't ask. I know it's 4 in the afternoon, but still. I came back. My data wasn't working outside all day, so my only connection to the internet came when I ended up coming back home. And then I saw this. The Rangers have acquired defenseman Will Borgen, a 2025 third and a 2025 6th-round pick in exchange for Kaapo freaking Kako. No way, bro. No way. We had just spoken about this yesterday. We made a video talking about Kaapo Kako. 7.5k views. My goodness, that actually popped off more than I thought. But Kaapo Kako's situation in New York is so dire because the guy got healthy scratched despite the fact that him and his line are very, very good defensively, and despite the fact that there are other players who are more expensive on the Rangers forward core, who are getting played more on the Rangers forward core, and who are worse on the Rangers forward core. Mika Zibanejad, Chris Kreider, these guys have been yuck this season. Kaapo Kako, on the other hand, not too bad. In fact, you could say he's doing pretty alright. 14 points, 30 games played, half a point a game pace, on pace for the same point production he had 2 seasons ago in 22-23. And a lot of Rangers fans would go out there immediately and say, hey, this guy is actually pretty alright. He is not the problem here. But now he's gone. Sent over to Seattle. Seattle Kraken, y'all are getting a very good player and a guy whom, if you give him the minutes, you give him the spotlight, you give him some of the other young, hungry players to play alongside of, you could get some really good value out of Kaapo Kako long term. I've been checking up on y'all Seattle Kraken folks. Shane Wright has been starting to put things together. You got Matty Beniers still chilling, doing his thing. Imagine Kako, Wright, Beniers as a 1-2-3 forward punch. You can have Kaapo Kako at center if you really wanted him to. So maybe a 1-2-3 of those 3, or you could put them all on the same line just to go maximum chaos and totally crank things up. Kaapo Kako is only 23, folks. He's 23 years old, and he's already in this position where on a bad Rangers team, he was one of the only decent players, decent to good players, you could say. And before we even dive into the return, screw the return. We'll talk about the return later. I wanted to go over some of the Rangers fans' reception from this entire thing. Screw Chris Drury. Yep, okay. The return on Kako is horrific. Will Borgen absolutely sucks. I'm not going to go out there and say that necessarily. Trade, salute to Kako, I will miss you. I hope they treat him better than we did. Unhappy Macaron 1101 says, I can't wait to see him reach his potential. Screw this Rangers team, man. Kaapo Kako was given his top 6 edition in the past 2 years. 131 points in 300 games is not good enough. I 100% agree. Let's not forget that he was scratched by 2 different coaches during the Eastern Conference Finals. He should have been way better being a 2nd overall pick. The dude is not at all an offensive threat. Okay, I don't know if that's necessarily cope, but still, there are people saying, hey, I don't like that. Playing with effort will get you traded. This organization is lost. I don't see how this even gets remotely better. You deserve better, Kaapo. Best of luck. Terrible trade. Good for Kaapo. Chris Drury does not know how to GM, completely wasted this dude's potential, absolutely livid right now. I love this team too much because F this crap, this is crap. I've already spouted enough fire Drury, but to see this trade actually happen just makes me feel as if this guy's gonna helm the Rangers for a long time, and we are going to suck hard because of it. He was a terrible captain and a terrible Ranger. Why did we make him the GM? So, yeah, Rangers fans are having a ball with this trade. I will say, though, Will Borgen, not the worst player in the world. I actually do like him. I do think he's pretty all right. Better than what some Rangers fans would have you believe based off of their response to the entire trade. Where's the elite prospects? Let's go over here and search for EP. Yeah, elite prospects should be the number one for most of these player searches, but Will Borgen is 28 years old, 6'3", 205, right-handed defenseman, signed on to the end of this season, making 2.7 mil. He was averaging, let's say, 13 minutes of time on ice, 13 to 15 time on ice per game. No points, as you can see. This season he's got 2 points in 33 games played. Last year he was a lot more productive though, back-to-back 20-point seasons, and you will note that if you look at some of the advanced analytics, Will Borgen was somewhat of a shot-blocking, physical monster. He was getting in front of a lot of pucks. He was playing that Kraken style. The Kraken were a lot better a few seasons ago, to be honest, but Will Borgen was one of the guys that was really helping them out. Jamie Oleksiak, Adam Larsson, Will Borgen, lots of guys coming into Seattle and doing very good things on the blue line. Borgen has established himself as a middle to bottom pairing defenseman for Seattle. In New York, I don't necessarily see him overtaking like an Adam Fox or something, so he'll probably have some sort of a similar role with the Rangers. It's just when you think about the potential, sure, you're getting a third, sure, you're getting a sixth, but trading away a former second overall pick who was already disgruntled and even called himself out saying, yeah, I've been playing well defensively, but I got scratched. What's up with that? To take that guy and send him away for Borgen and 2 middle to bottom pair picks, oh boy, what asset management here by the New York Rangers. Let's go out there with the filter, the censor on and read some of the replies to this New York Rangers tweet. Details. Okay, we're not going to read that. So Kako voices he's upset being sat down and you're immediately traded for this? Sad but necessary? Great, now he can go score 30 goals for the next 10 years. There is the Will Borgen. Oh boy, the charts for Will Borgen, the evolving hockey thing, it's very, very low. Actually, I think he's a bit better than this would imply, but still, maybe I'm just biased because Borgen was a pretty good fantasy player for me last year. Fire Chris Drury. Is this supposed to make the Rangers better? I'm going to frame this. I thought Kako played against men. Jack Hughes owns your franchise. That is totally not something that I think is worth talking about here. Somehow both sides got fleeced. LOL, fire Drury. I hope Kako unlocks in Seattle so badly with that return. Good for Kako. This feels like a workplace retaliation tactic. The kid speaks his mind and immediately gets traded. Honestly, he is better off in my opinion. Honestly, this does seem like if Kaapo Kako did not make those comments yesterday, maybe he would still be a Ranger. Who really knows? But ultimately, if Kaapo Kako's fate is decided in Seattle, if he becomes a 30-goal, 35, 40-assist guy, playing alongside of Shane Wright, then this would ultimately be the best case scenario for him in his career. Maybe calling out the head coach and calling out the fact that he got scratched turned his entire life around. This could be great for Kaapo Kako. Meanwhile, for Will Borgen, he was playing on a Kraken team that was already kind of down there. They weren't really stringing together as much results as they wanted to at the beginning of the season. They've started to get a little bit better as the season has gone on, though, especially with the arrival and the dominance of Shane Wright. But still, Seattle to New York, Will Borgen, let's see what you can do. Kaapo Kako, though, this is going to be a great opportunity for him with the Seattle Kraken. This is going to be a guy they can rally around, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this trade. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.